Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Inside the Den. Now today we're going to take a look at Lord of the Rings Online. This is a free-to-play 3D fantasy MMORPG. So let's get started. So as you can see, I'm already logged in and the game's already started. So we have 4 different races that we can choose from: the man, the dwarf, the hobbit, and the elf. Let's take a look at each of these. And as you do create each of these, you'll see over here there's race info, as each of them has their own little bonuses and attribute pluses that they get. You can see with the classes, it's also limited by the race that you choose. So the dwarf can only be the champion, the guardian, the hunter, the minstrel, and the runekeeper. We go down to the hobbit. Let's take a second to load each of these up. And that has the burglar, the guardian, the hunter, the minstrel, and the warden. And then let's take a look at the elf. And you can see the backgrounds change as each of these do start in their own beginning area. One of the great things about Lord of the Rings Online is it was originally a pay-to-play game and has now gone free-to-play. The nice thing with that is that when the game was originally launched, it launched with a ton of content, and they've only been adding to that as time has gone on. So let's go ahead and, you know what, let's make a dwarf. So we'll make a dwarf and we will make a hunter. Hunters are the proficient at dealing significant damage to a single foe at long range. So essentially this is kind of your long range DPS type. So we can play a movie and watch a little bit more about dwarves, but we're going to continue on and take you so you guys can see the customization. So as far as the name, let's name our character real quick. And you can take and do a ton of different customizations as far as the head options, the eyes, the eyebrows, the mouth. That's one of the great things that Turbine has done, not only with this but also with Dungeons & Dragons Online, is they've really put a lot of time and emphasis into the customization. Now, that's one of the nice things about it being a pay-to-play game is they did spend a lot of time on that. As far as free-to-play games, this and probably some of the Perfect World games are some of the few that have this ultimate level of customization. So let's come up with let's go with a kind of a gray hair color, and then you can do some craziness as far as your body type. You can see there, and you can also hit randomize a bunch of times and jump right into things. And if you don't want to do the tutorial, say you've already started the game, you can skip the tutorial by just clicking this box. We're going to run through it, and you can see there's different areas where your actual origin is. So we're going to go ahead and go with the White Mountains. We'll go through the tutorial and let's create. So there we go. We've got our character started. You can see over here you've got the Lord of the Rings store, which is essentially like your cash shop. And you also have your monster play, which your monster play is your version of PvP in the game. And it's a pretty cool little system. You can't actually get into it until once you've reached level 10 with any of your characters and unlock it. And once you get in there, you're able to choose different types of monsters that you can run around and beat each other up on. And so it's a cool little, just a different type of PvP. Very interesting and very neat. But let's enter Middle Earth and get going. Now, one of the really nice things, and one of the things that's Lord of the Rings Online is highly touted about, is the storyline. The background story, as you know, comes from the Lord of the Rings books and the movies, and they've carried that over into the game. So as you're playing the game, there's just tons and tons of depth and storyline to be followed. And you don't have to follow that storyline, but it is really an integral part of the game, and it really makes the game that much, it takes it kind of to that next level as far as things are concerned. And as far as your gaming experience is concerned, just having that last little bit is just a little bit different than just normal grind and questing away. So we are taking a little bit to load up. The game graphically is really, really good. I attest that to the fact that it was a pay-to-play game, so they put a lot of effort into it there before it did go free-to-play. And it is a persistent world. So you're not going to have to load every time you go into these different areas. You're just going to be able to run around and see all the different things without having to have those load times or enter instances. I know a few people have asked me, what other games are out there that are persistent world in the free-to-play realm, and this is definitely one of them. But you know what? This is taking a while, so I was going to pause, but we are in.
Work at the Silver Deep Mine. An old man beckons for you to come near. He is a close advisor of Thorin Oakenshield, the master of these halls.
And you can see you do have voice acting, and it walks you through the quests and the beginning of the game, as far as getting you through the tutorial, there is a full walkthrough with voice acting. You can see they've got you clicking around, and you've got all these explanation boxes. Your movement is WASD. You can't point and click. You can move your camera around with your mouse and with your holding down your mouse keys, and also change your directional heading. But let's talk to Gandalf real quick and get this party started. So let's continue that quest. We did bring up our quest log with this button right here, and we can also close that right there, and let's head, and he's going to open this gate, and we're going to head outside. You can see our first quest is just to move around by using WASD. So pretty basic stuff. I brings up your inventory, and as you can see, I actually have some items because I did sign up for the game when it was pay to play, so we'll equip those. And so we did move around, completed that quest, and you can see they use the ring graphic just to kind of follow the lore and all that stuff. So we have more work to do, and we're going to head in here and we're going to start some combat as soon as we get inside these mines. As you know, the dwarves, they live in these mines, but you can see, just looking in the background, graphically the game is really well done. And the musical score also follows right along with that. We haven't heard too much of that, but it has gotten a little bit of that going on. I'm going to open up some different things. O brings up your social, and this also allows you to find parties. You can see different levels as far as the characters are concerned. This gives you the opportunity to, they don't call parties, it's the following, very similar to the movies and the books. So you are able to use this social box to open it up and find different party groups that you want to join, and instances that they're doing and things like that. So follow Gandalf, listen to his musings. Let's bring up some of these other things. L does bring up your quest log. K does bring up your skills. So you see I do have a few skills, and they've already put them here in my hotbar. And now some of these skills, like you see Swift Stroke, I actually don't have the weapon equipped for it, but you got Blindside. And you can see it says adds 3 to focus. Now focus is your little bonus here, and when you have your focus powered up, you are actually able to do more powerful skills. So it's kind of a almost like Rage for a warrior in WoW and things like that. There's a lot of games that use similar type structures, I guess you could say. So let's talk to this guy. Collect your equipment from the satchel near the door. So let's go over here, and the satchel near the door is right there on the ground. So let's pick that up, and we get our starting equipment. So it talks about, so it's loot all, and we've got some things coming down on us. Let's get these equipped. Now we've got a little bit more powerful bow, and this is a little bit more powerful knife. So we'll go ahead and get that. Talk to Gimli to find out what to do. So let's talk to him. Actually, this is Gimli. Continue the quest. He wants us to try our skill. So let's fire our bow on him. You see the animations are really well done. We can use our bow, and both our bow and our knife at the same time. We're able to use our bow in close range. And luckily we were able to take Gimli out, which, if any of you know the lore, he's a lot tougher than that, so normally we wouldn't be able to take him out. So you can see there are some instances, I know I said that the game was a persistent world, but there are some instances that you will want to enter different dungeons and stuff like that. It did take a while to load up the last part, so I'm going to pause this real quick while this loads up, because I think it might be just loading up all these different textures, because I have the settings set pretty high. So I'm going to pause and come back once we're inside. So there we go, we're back inside, so let's talk to Gimli and continue our quest. You got some miners, some guys, and you can see inside they did a really good job of these, not necessarily I would say dungeons, but this is just a mine. So we talked to that guy, we're trying to get him to get out of here while because the mine is collapsing. So speak to him. And I don't know how many more we got to talk to. So we got 2 now. Let's see if there's more. There we go. There's some more deeper in here. But the one thing that I can tell you that I like about the game, and I played this for a while, I got one character into like the mid 40s as far as leveling, was that the game didn't just have your typical, you know, kill this or kill that quests, and they really did a good job of mixing it up as far as the quests are concerned. The game has a really intricate crafting system, which I know a lot of people really get into the crafting in these different games. And it also, like I said, has the amazing storyline, which the storyline is really kind of the thing that just takes this game to the next level, really. I mean, graphically, you expect it to be high graphics because it was pay to play, but on top of that, for it to have the top-notch storyline is even more so part of the game that I think will pull a lot of people in, especially those that really enjoy the Lord of the Rings story. So convince the miners to leave. So I think we're just waiting for everything to collapse, essentially. So these guys are gonna... So we're going to head into a little bit of a dream state, and there we go. We see this. So we really can't do anything right now. We can move around, but they opened up this hole right here, and there's a giant troll that came out. And takes those guys out over on the other side. Obviously, we're not able to do anything from over here. I don't even think we can fire our bow this far. Yeah, it doesn't let us fire our bow. So it's kind of nice, the cutscene inside of the normal gameplay, which is kind of cool that you're not taken away to a different section. Shows that they put a lot of time and emphasis in these types of things. So he's telling me that I must help Gimli. So let's go back over here and talk to him real quick. And one nice thing too is, as far as the store is concerned, this store isn't really like this overpowering thing. You can really get a lot of the game's features and gameplay and stuff like that without having to delve too deep into the store. I haven't had to really delve too deep into the store because I actually purchased the lifetime membership, so I haven't had to see too much of the store and things like that. But once again, it isn't really one of those ones where it's still, even though it went to a cash shop, that it's still pay to play. So let's head off this way, and I believe, there we go. So let's look at this corpse, see what it's got on it. So to defeat the cave claw, so we got to defeat 5 of these guys. I think they're in this direction. There's one. So we're going to cut them. You can see you've got your typical UI with your hotkeys and stuff down at the bottom, your mini map here at the top. And you can see experience down at the bottom also. Okay, and then you, just like normal, you've got your information here, and then as you get your fellowship, the other players that you'll partner up with will come at the bottom there. Let's fire an arrow on him. One nice thing that I could say about the that's actually the wallet that I brought up. So that turns floating names off. There's your map, so you can see inside the cavern that we're in. We can see what we're up against and where we can go. Let's go ahead, and we've got 3 more of these guys to take out. Crafting, we do not currently have craft vocation. You do have to learn different vocations, and then you're able to do different crafting. Trying to bring up some of these other windows so you guys can see what else is going on. C brings up your character sheet, so you can see it's pretty well done as far as this stuff is concerned. You've got all these different slots. There's a lot of different slots as far as stuff you can wear. I always laugh when you can only wear 2 rings. You know, you've got 10 fingers, why can't you wear 10 rings? But I understand, it'd just be too overbalanced to have all these different bonuses and things like that. But it's always funny to only see the 2 rings. So let's take out the last 2 of these guys real quick. Let's see what other hotkeys we have. You can bring up, there's the last one. There's one there. We need one more. And you can't fire your bow when running, so you've got to stop. Whenever you're going to fire, you've got to go ahead and stop and fire then. So let's head off in this direction. You can see he's over there fighting that troll. And Gimli's the guy we need to talk to. And he took a pretty nasty shot, and he's actually down. And these guys are coming in, Gandalf, and who else is coming in? Gormir, Dowersmith are coming in to help with the troll. So let's see, he's gonna take him, turn him to stone. So there you go. Now the cave has a nice little stone statue. But like I said, you could see here it's a full storyline, and this is just the tutorial. As you get out into the full persistent world and you're running around, there's not only little quests that you can do for the different villagers and the different towns that you'll go to and enter, but then there's also the full storyline that you're going to be able to follow, that take you all over the world that you normally know from the Lord of the Rings. You know, I think it's Ravenfell, and I'm sorry, Winterfell, and all the different towns. I can't remember them all right now. So let's talk to Gandalf real quick. Actually, we need to talk to Gimli first. Complete Omen for Father's Journey. So let's talk to him. And yep, we're going to finish now and head on out of here. And here's the storyline.
75 years after the death of Thorin, his halls in the Blue Mountains have fallen under the rule of the Dourhand clan.
And now that we're done with the tutorial, we actually end up in the dwarven town inside this giant mountain, which is kind of cool.
Of the Lonely Mountain has dispatched Lord Dwellin and a company of dwarves to uncover the cause.
If you want, you could skip these by hitting escape. I just wanted to give you guys kind of a little insight and see exactly how those cutscenes went. And there's a ton of those throughout the game as you're going through the different chapters, essentially, they call them. There's one other thing that I want to show you, even though I am running out of time. I'm hoping I have enough time. This loads up quick enough. There is actually a lore book that keeps track of all the things that you kill and how many of them you kill and all the quests that you do and all the titles that you earn and things like that. This was kind of, I remember when this game came out, I was playing WoW quite a bit, and WoW didn't even have all those achievements and things like that at the time. Let me see if I can find it here. Open bag, no. Open bag 2, 3, 4, 5, blah, blah, blah. Nope. And that's the online help. We don't want that. Traits panel. Traits are essentially very similar to kind of your talent tree. So you'll earn different traits, and then you'll be able to assign them here. And you'll have different ones: virtue, race, class, and legendary ones. The legendary ones are very, very powerful. It's a really cool little thing. And then you have your virtue traits and their race traits, your class, and your legendary. It's a really cool system that allows you to tweak out your character the way that you want to. So that's something I'm glad that I was able to find that real quick and show you that. And here's the quest log. And that's not exactly what I wanted to show you. You guys already saw the quest log earlier. And the deed log, that's exactly what it's called. So these are the deeds. So as you accomplish different deeds, you can see down at the bottom here, there's class, race and social, epic, and reputation. Now these are essentially your achievements. And as you do different things as far as the game is concerned, this book will fill up. And then you've got, not only that, but you've got your skirmish instances, your regular instances, and you can filter them in different ways. And then you've got your different hobbies and stuff like that. And this was really, in my opinion, it was one of the first games to really do a really good achievement system. And I was really impressed when I first saw that system in the game. And I remember not too long after that WoW came out with their system. So as you can see, the game, like you could see way off into the distance, the game's textures are really nice. Let's talk to this guy really quick and complete this quest. So it's finished now. I have to select one. Actually, this is going to take me to another part, and I am out of time. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's trip inside the den. Don't forget to subscribe and keep yourself updated as each new episode is released. And if you'd like to play or learn more about Lord of the Rings Online, you can read our full review at mmoden.com or just click the link in the description. Till next time, thanks for watching.